So this is the second story. This is senior year. So between 9th and 11th grade, I got sick like 2 to 3 times a year. But actually, this is interesting. So I was on vacation. I had a giant family reunion because Gramps died like 5 months ago. This was 2021, so he's been dead for a while. And I basically coped with it pretty well. So we had a big family reunion. One of the girls been wearing a mask all day when we didn't have to. And it turns out she actually had a really bad cold. I asked her, was it COVID? Was it flu? Was it bronchitis? Was it whatever? No, she just said it was a bad cold. So then after a couple days, I kind of expected this would be coming, because then some of the kids were like just not feeling well. They probably also got whatever cold this aunt had. So then I started having a sore throat for like 3 days. By the 3rd day, my nose got that drip, you know. The 4th day, it's just like Niagara Falls at this point. I actually learned how to blow my nose, but like it never works, because then I blow it so hard that my nose starts bleeding. And because of the dry weather, it actually bled so bad that like my whole pillow was covered in blood. So yeah, by the time we got to and this was on my birthday too. I had a birthday party the day before. I still got the little drippy drip, but it wasn't as bad as now. When as this moment, I had like a whole roll of toilet paper. I would constantly just I would basically be like this all day. I mean, this is always me, but this was especially me that day. Why just put a blanket up my nose? No, I'm gonna get it again. So then what happened is, by the time I get home, I'm recovered. So yeah, between 9th and 11th grade, I would get sick 2 to 3 times a year. And it was always just colds and whatever. But 12th grade, I got sick like 5 times in 5 months. It was ridiculous. No, I got sick 6 times in 5 months. So, for whatever reason, every time, like, the week before homecoming, I come down with something, but, like, by homecoming, it's fine. I was actually tracking Hurricane Helene when all this happened. And it was parent-teacher conferences, so, like, I would talk with all my buds and my teachers. But then the next day, I'd be dripping. Like, my face is like a faucet. A draining faucet. All I'm watching Hurricane Helene on the news and tracking the storm because I want to be a meteorologist. So then Saturday, I go. I'm still all congested, but I'm completely fine. I go decorate for Hoko. I go to a gym show. I go to, like, a block party. Completely fine by Hoko. Senior Hoko, by the way. And then, okay, a few months later, I got on this epic vacation. But for some reason, as soon as I got to the airport, like literally, the literal second I stepped foot into the airport, all of a sudden I was a draining faucet again. So I would go to the bathroom to try to, get rid of that stuff. but it didn't really work. I just thought it was allergies because, it was the airport, it was the garage, it was all dusty and stuff, but it pretty much lasted the entire day. By the time I got home, my mom thought I was just completely tired, but no, I legit was dripping my sinuses out, and I was like dying. So then I mostly just rest because I'm tired, but I'm actually down bad with an illness. By the time I go back to school, I'm already a bit better. I still feel super congested for like a week. I don't know what I had, because I didn't even have a sore throat. Like, that and coughing were my only symptoms. Like, hello? Was it like a simple cold that just didn't have a sore throat? Was I no bronchitis without the chest pain? I do know a girl who probably did have bronchitis because she would like coughing her minds out. And the cough made her breathless, and she literally allegedly, after her junior prom, she gagged. But and then one time she went to state dance and she also fell. I don't know her exact symptoms. Maybe she either had some stomach viruses or possibly a cold or the flu. I don't know. She was all covered in blanket, which was my guess. She probably got those chills. This is where the story gets interesting. So then one day, I just wake up. No, I don't even wake up. I actually just came home from a makeup show, and then my throat was hurting, and then a second later, my throat's actually completely gone. I'm like, I'm like, it is so congested. It is so dead. So the next day I have a presentation. I go to bed and I'm feeling really cold. Next day I have a presentation. And I'm legit sweating in that class. Probably had a low grade fever, who knows. And I try to speak up and I literally cannot speak. I'm like, really? Really? And I also had a dance audition for talent show. I did make the talent show, by the way, and I did well. I didn't win anything, but I did do well. So, yeah. And I was legit sweating and flushed all this time. I literally did my dance, all with no voice. And my phone's on fire. It's just absolutely insane. Next day, I'm dripping a little bit. It's mostly fine. I did facial. I go to a winter formal. All of this stuff. It's just the craziest week of my life. I do actually remember. I think it was a Friday. I actually do remember going outside all congested, and by the time I went outside, I was completely fine. But I was also down bad, and I also felt horrible. I was I legit looked pretty flushed and unwell. Sunday, I'm pretty much fine. And then a few days later, my ears still hurting real bad, but yeah. Then we get to prom, and a few days later, my throat started hurting for whatever reason. Sometimes water would help it go away, but it stayed still. And I was panicking, of course, because it's my senior prom, and I need to show up to show him who's boss, and I was the real boss. But then the next day, I'm dripping and draining. And then next, it's senior skip day. So then I tell him, I'm not coming to school today because it's senior skip day. Truth be told, I could have just actually called out sick because I actually was sick with a cold, whatever. It was bad. Luckily, I was feeling better the next day. Because, obviously. So then we get to the absolute true craziest stories of my senior year. First, one day, this sibling just all of a sudden vomited and didn't feel like eating anything the next day. And then the week prior, my daddy had some nausea and diarrhea for a few days. And he was really tired. My mom never got sick either of these times. So then one day I wake up and I'm holding, so then I actually go to eat and I legit almost gag for absolutely no reason. I barely eat lunch. I'm just not well at all. I actually did have some loose stools in now and it was not pretty. But yeah, and this nausea lasted for like a good day or so. I actually went to club and I actually felt really ill. I was nauseous there too. Not as bad as this second time. This second time I was down. I wasn't just down bad. I was like, these were legit Tocho Poets department. So then, one day, what was this? Okay, so the day prior, I was volunteering at something, and it was amazing. It was an amazing night, but something tells me I may or may not have caught a bug there. Either due to a bacteria, a virus, I don't know what it was. So then the next day, I'm feeling completely fine up until 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Most I was just feeling kind of whatever, but then by the time I get home, it's actually really holding and I feel so unwell. I tried leaning off, it didn't help. I tried eating gum, it didn't help. And then all of a sudden, I legit vomit into my trash can. So then I tell my dad, of course, and then a few seconds later, literally 5 minutes after, I get a drink of water, and the water came right back up. I was projecting all of this through, too. And then this would keep happening every 10 minutes. I would feel super nauseous. I would go to the bathroom. It was a ticking time bomb, and I would just eject everything out. I didn't eat. I didn't do anything. I had a field trip the next day. So it was bad. I didn't manage to go to the field trip, but at my peak, I was throwing up every 10 minutes, and I could not keep anything down. I seriously consider going to the emergency room to get like IVs or stuff. I actually told my mom, take me to urgent care so we can figure out what this is, because I didn't know what it was. Because as far as I'm aware, no one else in my family got this illness. Was it food poisoning from like microbes and bacteria? Was it norovirus? Like, what was it? I officially say norovirus, but truth be told, it could have literally been anything. It could even be measles as far as I know. But measles probably doesn't cause that, and I'm also vaccinated. Could have been COVID too, who knows? And next day I do go on a field trip, but I'm still real nauseous. Like, I ate one pizza and I called it a day. I only ate the pizza to fit in. Legitimately. If I didn't eat the pizza, I literally would not have anything. I was that bad. And then the next day, I do a basketball event, and I'm like breathing, and my friends just asked me, "Are you really tired?" And I say yes. But truth be told, I'm actually not anxious. I'm really nauseous. Saturday, I was feeling completely fine, but then Sunday and Monday, I feel horrible, and I get those, watery number 2s. I'm pretty much feeling better after Monday. I'm slowly recovering. I even managed to eat a whole pizza at Chicago. But then, But then afterwards, I just had really bad anxiety related to it for like 3 whole months. It was actually insane. And yeah, that's basically my story on how I got norovirus. So, good night, because I literally am about to fall asleep.